While hot dogs and burgers sizzle on those barbecues, crypto traders may have something else on their minds. The major coins getting slammed heading into the holiday weekend. And given how Bitcoin is traded when the stock markets are closed, how should holders brace for more pain? Let's get some answers from Chartmaster Carter Worth of Cornerstone Macro. Carter, what are you seeing?
Well, my goodness, there's a lot going on, and obviously the stakes are high because as opposed to a year ago or 3 or 5, the money involved is much bigger. The risk here is that we are forming an important head and shoulders reversal formation. You can be called anything you want. We're going to look at the charts together and try to figure it out. So the first of a handful. What we know is what? We're talking about an important drop. We hit the highs on the mid-April point, April 14th, right? It was 64,870 or thereabouts. And we plunged 53% right to a trend line and hit the 30,000 level and bounced. But the bounce, as is often the case once you draw down that much, only made it back to where interested sellers were lying in wait, meaning after having lost money and then being able to recoup it, often people sell into that move. And you can see that on that first chart. Now the second chart is the exact same chart, but I've drawn the lines a bit differently, which is to say, this is prospectively the shoulder of an important head and shoulders top. And so the mirror image left shoulder is that drawdown in the January period of this year where we dropped 35% before going on to the big new highs. But here we are, and it's very symmetrical and starting to shape up that way. If and as, indeed, this is the formation and the way forward is lower, how much lower might we be going? Well, next chart. One reference point to consider is, of course, the high that we saw, the all-time high, in December of 2017. And you can see that line I've drawn along there. Often after breaking out from an important level, you'll revisit that level. It's a phenomenon that happens a lot in individual charts, in currencies, commodities, and there's no reason it can't happen in Bitcoin. And so that level is 20,000, plus or minus. So the question is, could we possibly, having dropped already 53%, could we go down that far, which we'd be looking at a 70+% decline for peak to trough? Well, take a look at the last two charts. We know that Bitcoin has had 3 similar drawdowns that have actually been even more severe. In 2011, we had a 93% decline. Now, it was new then, and of course, maybe a different animal now, but yet in 2014-15, we had an 86% decline. And then in 2018-19, we had an 84% decline. 93%, 86%, 84%, meaning it's not out of the question. So final chart, putting those all together, you see those 3 similar drawdowns, if and as this one continues, sort of 80 to 90%. And were we simply to pivot back to the highs from which we broke out, that would be the December 2017 highs, we would drop as far as 20,000.
Wow, 20,000. Carter, wow. Thank you. Carter Braxton Worth. So based on